Adriana, we try and root for you. Then you go and write a letter from Marisol's liver. Well, even Andy was like, you made me read this. You made me read this in its entirety. What? I mean, he kept it. He kept it for the clubhouse because it's hard to decide if it was, a moment to remember. I mean, it is a moment to remember, but like not in a I brought the bunny kind of way, not in that way. It landed so flat and so, it just had no impact. It was so, but I feel bad because it almost, it felt like she was that nerd in high school again, like she mentioned, where she thought she did something there and it didn't work. It didn't work. And then with the AA thing, like Marisol, and I will be getting into Ultimate Girls Trip 3. I am going to be recapping that right after I record this. Kendrick and I are hopping on a recording and we will be covering that amazing show, Don't You Worry, where it is clear that Marisol wants to drink her body into an alcohol-induced death. I don't know why, but she does. But that's up to her. She doesn't appear to me to be an alcoholic because she's not like ruining lives and relationships. Maybe there's things I'm missing. There have been allegations from Anna, yeah, the former, like one of the OG cast members. But it just didn't land, Adriana. It just didn't. And the look on Julia's face sitting next to her, like, no, I'm trying. She's like, I'm trying. And Andy going, even Julia, she's not good. So yeah, let's get into this part 3 of this reunion. I kind of wish they had as much as I love. You know how much I love Miami. They could have done this in 2 parts. There were a couple repeat moments. I feel like we didn't fully need the 3rd part. So I got a little exhausted with trying to like write my notes and do my recapping. But regardless, here we are. Let's do it, baby. Let's go. What was that? What did I just do? Here at She Speaks Bravo, we believe that Bravo TV is a great form of self-care and therapy. Look at me. I've been using it for over a decade, and I am a complete mess. That's me, by the way. I'm Emily, and I'm your host on this journey.
What is this, honey?
I love that.
If you're not already subscribed, get subscribed and hit that notification bell because I'm releasing new episodes at least 3 times a week.
You fool.
That's my opinion!
I talk Bravo, I talk true crime, and sometimes I talk a little scripted. So whatever you're here for, I hope you enjoy the show. I'm drinking my, did you hear that? Ooh, a little ASMR. Ooh. I can't tell you the amount of people that tell me I should start doing ASMR because of my voice. I don't want it. What people don't realize is that after COVID hit, everybody started doing shit on YouTube and podcasts and stuff. So I could start doing ASMR, but then I'd have to like fight for my views to go up. And it's like, you know how hard it is to get these views up, for crying out loud. The reunion picks up where didn't I know this was going to happen? Didn't I know? I knew this was going to happen, where Kiki being like, I knew models he was cheating on you with. I knew Lisa was going to be like, yeah, a lot of stuff's been coming up. I got a couple comments on YouTube from people theorizing that it seems like maybe Lenny had a bit of an arrangement where maybe like she knew he was cheating, but he was never going to make it obvious and leave her because the deal was he took care of her. I mean, she's doing a lot of lying, if that's the case. She's doing a lot of lying. I don't know if she has to do that lying in order to get the money. Oops. In the divorce. I don't know if that's, I don't know. Because she's claiming that he would gaslight her. Like, why can't I? Oh, I can't have friends. I can't. Oh, I can't have friends. You're insecure. It's just you being insecure. And I could see that happening too. And I'm not getting deceit from Lisa. I'm not getting that she's being deceptive. And what I'm about to say isn't necessarily a compliment. I'm getting like something's not connecting. Like I want to be like, hello, like, is something okay there? Hello? No? Okay. That's what I'm getting. Not a compliment, but still, like, I'm not getting that she's lying per se. But it's possible. My read isn't always right. So, you guys may be correct. But this is something that's happening a lot. You know how gaslighting was the phrase of the year for a period of time? Was it 2 years ago, maybe? Narcissism is the phrase of this year. Narcissistic abuse. For me, that was last year? Yeah, 2022. But now, like, everyone's picked up on it. So I get it. But Marisol, when Lisa's talking about how Lenny would be like, I can't have friends. I can't have friends. Marisol looks at Adriana and goes, and see, now that's the definition of narcissism. I'm like, no, that's gaslighting. Nobody can get it right. Larsa did help Lisa get the restraining order lifted. And Larsa goes, otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to eat at all our favorite restaurants. I mean, come on now. Priorities, people. Hello. Oh, my God. If you live in LA or in the Valley proper, the wind is killing me. Dude, if you live in LA, in California, we already have to deal with earthquakes. Okay. There was a tornado. That's fucked up. Okay. That's when people hear about earthquakes and they get all scared. I'm like, yeah, dude, but tornadoes, those are the scariest things I've ever even heard of or seen. Now we get those too. I can't. So I'm trying my best not to sniffle in the mic, but my God, my allergies. The wind, I'm in the valley, so we get these gusts of wind. And wind is an asshole, okay? Wind is aggressive. I'm like, okay, wind, I get it. We get it, you're wind. It's like you just can't escape it. Your hair gets all fucked up. Like I know weather is annoying, but like wind. And if you're in the valley in LA, you know what I'm talking about. God. Okay, so viewer question asks if Anthony and Todd made up. I love the discrepancies in the story. Alexia's like, well, we ran into Antonia, because he's a chick. Okay. And he was like condescending and saying the only ones who have real jobs are him and Nicole. And everything that he said about Larsa was funny. But then Nicole is like, well, she came in and was like, you guys are in trouble. And Andy's like, okay, well, then that paints a more accurate picture of why he maybe was defensive. But I don't, you guys already know by now, I don't like Anthony. That caused a whole lot of problems when I said that. But I don't get good vibes from him. He is condescending. I don't like that guy. Viewer question about Larsa's braids. Andy goes, I think you're going to get a lot of backlash for that. And she goes, I don't think so. You already did. You got backlash. You did. She's like, I'm not white. Okay, but you're not black. You're not black. She's like, my kids get their hair braided every 10 days. Okay. But Kiki, Kiki's been through a lot. I tried to look up Kiki Barth's ex and like nothing comes up. So something happened. You don't get, you can't find her. You can't find anything. She was kicked out of her house at 15 years old by her stepmom. She's been through a lot. So I want to cut her a lot of slack. But Andy asks Kiki what she felt about the braids. And she's like, wear your hair however you want, no matter who you are, as long as it looks good. I'm like, she doesn't want a lot of trouble. And that leads to Andy saying, like, why'd you get so emotional with the shaman thing? And she's like, I've been through a lot, and any chance I get to let it out. And Marisol's super protective, and it's like she's a single mom with 2 kids, with a modeling career. And so Kiki has had to take care of herself. If the fact that I cannot find who her ex is, like who her baby daddies are, I don't even want to know what happened. Actually, I do want to know, but she won't talk about it. She only gets this one segment as where Marisol and Adriana get to stay on the stage the whole time. You know, like Kiki's contract is clearly very specific. Like, this is the amount of time you will work. This is the amount of money we'll pay you. You know, there's something. God, I'm so fucking curious. She's such an interesting character. Marisol is asked about the stones from Julia and Adriana. And she's clear that, Julia, you would never put any sort of bad energy on it. Adriana's like, well, why would you think I would? And Marisol's, well, you're Brazilian. Okay, that's problematic. And Andy goes, what would my stone be? What would you give mine? She goes, yours would be love. And I forgot that Mama Elsa told Andy he would never find love. The flashback of Andy being like, do you think I'll find love? And she just goes, she puts like a piece of paper and kind of like looks at him like, no, you would not. And Andy asks, or I think maybe Marisol's like, what about now? What do you think? And he goes, I don't think my story's over quite yet. I know people think I'm full of shit, but I do feel like him and Anderson Cooper one day. I know this is controversial and I've gotten in a few debates with people, but I feel like they are soulmates. I do. I feel like they are. They say bye to Kiki with a burger. This reminds Julia of what happened on the boat. And I'm actually so glad she apologized for this, because I did feel so, I was heated that Julia uninvited Kiki to her party over that. Like, bitch. So I'm glad that they hugged it out. There's so many bigger fish to fry. Martina's sick. And Kiki says, just let's all get together for a date, you, me, Martina, and we're good. Kiki took a bite of that burger, or that Whopper, and off she went. Amazing. You guys are in for such a treat, because support for today's episode is brought to you by Jenny Kane. Think minimalist meets luxury. Jenny Kane items are classic, comfortable, and California-inspired clothes. From the cashmere or cotton knit sweater that you're obsessed with, to the flowy summer dress you never want to take off. With elevated everyday basics and wardrobe essentials, getting dressed has never been easier. When it comes to investing in an outfit that'll last forever, we choose Jenny Kane. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their entire order. Go to jennykane.com and use the code SHESPEAKS for 15% off. I am now obsessed with the sweater jacket that I got. I wear it literally with everything. It's like the only jacket I have now. My sister has made fun of me. She's like, is this now your only jacket? I said, yes. Why would I need anything else? It is warm enough, but also lightweight enough. It's a classic line. It's so cozy, which is the name of my game. It will never go out of style. Goes with everything. I dress it up. I dress it down. Their website is, as Dorit would say, the chicest website I've ever seen. The thing about Jenny Kane is you can feel the difference. They're just quality. I feel rich. That's how I feel. Jenny Kane is known for their cashmere, though. They've got this cocoon cardigan. It's got this like relaxed fit. It's like an ultra cozy silhouette. They also do, it's really lightweight, the fisherman sweater. And these are those core pieces that you can dress them up, you can dress them down. They look good for your work day, your weekday, your weekend. You can wear them alone, you can layer them. The versatility, that's what the investment's about. They also make mules and sandals, and they are so comfortable. And they're made in suede or leather, so it gives them that really elevated touch. They go well with everything. And they're the only shoe you're going to reach for this spring, I tell you. Whether you're running errands or you're going out on the town, Jenni Kayne is our go-to for that effortless Jennifer Aniston everyday outfitting. You know what I mean? Find your forever pieces at jennikayne.com. Our listeners get 15% off your first order. Our listeners get 15% off when you use code SheSpeaks at checkout. That's 15% off at JENNIKAYNE.com. Promo code SheSpeaks. The brand go-to for all season staples. Treat yourself because you deserve it, honey. Okay, I'm not ashamed. Well, maybe I'm a little ashamed. I'm a little embarrassed to talk about this. If you think that you've got an abnormal odor down there and you are embarrassed to talk about it, I send everyone over to Lume, Lume. A couple years ago, I noticed an odor down there and I panicked. I thought I had to go to the OBGYN, and Lume makes deodorants for your whole body. And the tagline is for pits, privates, and beyond. And I was like, how have I never thought that maybe I could have body odor down there, because like summertime, running around, So I bought Lume and I used it once, odor gone. So I looked further into Lume to be like, what is this? What is happening? It was actually created by an OBGYN because they were tired of the vagina getting blamed for odors and all the misdiagnoses going on. And they use mandelic acid, which stops odor before it starts. This is like a pre-odorant. And this can keep you smelling good for up to 72 hours, which is a long time. I kind of hope you shower before then. But hey, whatever. It can, if you need it, it can. It's aluminum-free, baking soda-free, and paraben-free. It's skin safe. You do not need a lot of it. There's a variety of scents. My personal favorite is toasted coconut. This is what I use. I smell delicious down there. Let me just tell you. And that's an adjective you want to use when describing below the belt, if you know what I'm saying. New customers get $5 off Lume's starter pack with code SheSpeaks at lumedeodorant.com. I use Lume everywhere. I use it under my boobs. I use it in my thigh folds. I use it in all the places that can get a little not so great. That's why I really love the wipes too. The cool cucumber wipes. I feel like I've been to a spa. Little quick spa refresher, even though half the time I'm using them in my car. Lume's starter pack is perfect for new customers because it comes with the solid stick deodorant, the cream tube deodorant, and you get 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. So as a special discount offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lume starter pack with code SheSpeaks at lumedeodorant.com. And that equates to over 40% off a Lume starter pack when you visit lumedeodorant.com and use code SheSpeaks. That's LUME deodorant.com and use code SheSpeaks. Okay, let me take a sip of this iced coffee for the next package. Marisol and Adriana's package. It really is brutal to watch Adriana say, your ex told me he was never in love with you. And she's saying it repeatedly like, yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said. So when they come back from the package, Marisol's crying. And she's like, I thought we were friends. Why would you say that? And what's crazy is Adriana by now isn't just going, you know what, it was it was so insensitive of me to do that, because now she's like, what I said about your ex was coming from a good place. It was to prove my loyalty. And it's like the look in her eyes is like she still doesn't get that was not the way to do it. Girl, what are you doing? Okay, that's and so Andy's like, maybe I can help out. He's like, don't you see that maybe that was going to hurt her? And Julia's now nodding. The amount of times Andy loved this, like, see, Julia's nodding. See, Julia, will that help you? Get it? No? Okay. Well. And then Adriana pulling in, Marisol, your mother liked me, remember? That's something. Your mom liked me? Nothing? Okay. Adriana has said that she did text Alexia for dinner and for lunch, but then she was so mean to me and Alexia because you're fake and you're a fraud. I don't know if I think Adriana's fake and a fraud, but then, like, that's how I started. I was like, I don't know, she's a fake and a fraud. But then I forgot completely about the Leah-Adriana feud, because obviously it was 1,000 years ago now. Alexia says she owes Leah an apology because when Leah told them about the whole Adriana was married to Frederick and lying about it, she didn't believe her. Let me refer to a post by the incomparable Faces by Bravo. Stephen did a little deep divey. Let me pull it up, though. I have it saved. And it turns out, so the wedding that she had to Frederick was in 2013, I believe. And he found that in 2008, which seems like such a weird, it's so long ago now, she was married, and here's the marriage license. Guys, isn't that crazy? To Frederick. And the episode aired. Guys, the episode aired in 2013. So she fully was married and got married on the show. Okay, so it takes forever, because they're going back and forth and yelling. Adriana's been caught, obviously. So Andy keeps going, hold on. He's snapping like a little, hold on. Finally, he's like, Adriana, were you already married in 2008? And Adriana goes, and she looks up. And I was like, oh, it's a tell. It's such a tell. It's immediate. Like, I may not know a lot, but when it comes to my knowledge of a really obvious tell from interrogations, that is it. And so she looks up and he goes, did you marry him again for the show? And then she goes, absolutely not. Girl, proof is right there. You were married. And that is weird. Sorry, but it is. So there's no getting around that. Okay. Now we get the ankle package. Yikes. Andy he asked Nicole first. He goes, you're a nurse? Was it bad? She goes, yes, there was bruising. And there was. They show it. It was gross. They show the bruising. And like I said, when that episode aired, that was bad, but it was the attitude, it was the dramatics, it was the need for so much. It was like she was blaming them for doing it. She made it seem like it was intentional. It's so hard to feel. It's so hard to give someone that level of, something when you can tell they want it. You're like, I don't want to give it to you. So Adriana explains the Frankie analogy. She says, I was trying to connect. Nicole and Gertie are really backing up Adriana. They're trying so hard. It was like she blacked out. But then, of course, there's the my bad. And Alexia has every reason to be pissed about that. I thought Adriana was going to be like, yeah, that wasn't good. I shouldn't have put my bad. That was a mistake. And Adriana goes, everyone says my bad. okay, Adriana, I'm trying so hard here. I'm like, I'm trying. Work with me here. Work with me. Okay, like, no. Oh. Julia literally looks like she's in pain. She's like, okay. And then she goes with this. You have to understand the difference. What is different between Adriana and all of us? She's the only single person. Larsa. Hello. Larsa's divorced. What are you talking about? Like, this doesn't work anymore. It doesn't. And then now, as Julia's doing this, Adriana goes into her cry face. She's like, that's right. I am poor me. This is poor me. Girl, we need you in some intense therapy because you have gone into a victim hole that's so deep, you can't pull yourself out of it. And Julia's falling for it. Gertie and Lisa keep stepping in like she's not in a good place mentally. And it's kind of reading as funny because it's like, it's just not necessarily a compliment. And then Marisol goes, she's dark. And when you're dark, you're dark. And Adriana goes, I'm not going to take what you're saying to heart because you're unwell. I received a letter from somebody about all the abuses that you do to them. So I'm going to give that letter to Andy. And Andy, please read the letter. And Andy, because Andy's already got some good receipts from her so far. Got the text message from Alexia from a few years prior, the definition of narcissism. So he's like, okay, this already gone so well. Good track record so far. Let's do it. I am being abused by Marisol. I believe she's not a bad person, but she needs an intervention from a friend who doesn't enable her. I am afraid I can become chopped liver for saying this, but if it continues with her excessive drinking, she might kill me in the end. Please help me, Marisol's liver. And everybody's like, what? What? And Julia's like, no. Julia looks pained. No. Then Adriana gives, I think it might be Marisol, but that's right. She gives it to Marisol, but it's like a list of AA meetings and tells Alexia that you enable her. You enable her. And Andy's like, why? I mean, this is not good. And Julia's like, we were getting somewhere and now you're judging her. And Adriana's like, I'm not judging. I'm offering help. Andy's like, you're not judging. You wrote a letter from her liver. Okay. Adriana goes, it was a joke. Okay. It was not a joke. Julia, as she's like, I love you, but we were trying to get somewhere. But now Adriana looks deranged because she's smiling like, isn't it funny what I just did? You just presented a letter from her liver saying that it was alcoholism, that you were concerned and you were offering help. Now it's hilarious. Oh, it's hilarious. We're having the best time. It's so funny. Girl, I am trying here. I am doing my best. Okay? I'm trying. I'm really trying. But it's hard. It's real hard. This is theater, though. This is true theater at its finest. So is it bad? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's funny. It's creating some funny moments. I don't want it to stop. So actually, maybe it's great. Okay, never mind. It's fantastic. Now we have to move on. Andy's like, I gotta move on. Like, I can't. So Andy brings up Alexia not being able to let go of her sons. And Nicole and Marisol are like, nope, that's a Cuban mom thing. Like, our mom's same thing. But Andy, who rarely cries, we rarely get a tear out of him, but he goes, it really struck me that Frankie said he was scared to get an Uber on his own. And when Andy cries, I get a little choked up too. Although anything with Frankie will get me choked up, right? I think we're all in agreement there. But if there's anything with Frankie and the De Moya Foundation, we're going to cry. It's just, as soon as I see them going to the De Moya Foundation, I'm like, oh, let me go get my tissues because it's going to be so touching and amazing. And Frankie is everything. And that's what makes Alexia so likable. Anything with Frankie, there we go. It makes you forget for a second, you know? That's what's confusing about it. And so we go into that, and Gertie asks, are you in therapy? And Andy's like, oh, you should be in therapy. You should be in therapy. Then I forgot completely that her mom was a psychiatrist, not just a therapist, a psychiatrist. And she said that her mom was her therapist. And I said, well, not all therapists are great. So we might want to, like Candace's mom is one too. From over in Potomac, in case you don't watch Potomac. So Dorothy isn't necessary. You know what I mean? So like, let's get a new one. We need a new therapist. Let's get a new therapist, Alexia. Please. Please. This interrupts. We get on the topic of Peter, and then Andy knew what he was doing. I'm sure a producer in his ear was like, ask Adriana how Adriana feels about Peter. Because I forgot that Peter had like the stuff that happened with Peter on the show before they did the comeback. It was when he like hit a homeless man, and it was some dark shit. And Adriana was like, and I was there for Peter. I supported Peter when everybody was mad at Peter. I was there for you. And it gets into somehow going back and forth between Marisol. And she's like, why would you try to take me down? And then Adriana goes into full blown, I know I deserve to be alone. I deserve nothing. And they're like, no, Adriana, not Marisol and Alexia. And Andy's like, hold on. Why don't you say something nice about each other? And so they have a moment. Adriana says what she's kind of always said to Marisol, I respect you for your strength. You came out the other side of a dark spot. And Marisol says, if you allow me to help you, I will help you get out the other side. And I was like, ooh, okay, we're getting somewhere. Adriana to Alexia, respect you for getting through the dark side with your kids. Okay. And then Andy's like, now Alexia, you say something nice about Adriana. And her the way this, like the thing on her dress is funny because she already kind of sits with her chin up a little bit, like stiff. And so she's like, yeah, okay. I think she sings beautifully and I love her song. We knew that was going to happen, but she realizes, she's like, that's not fair. So she's like, and I will be there to help you see that you have a beautiful life and you are blessed. And Marisol says the same thing. She cries. She's like, you are lucky and you have so much. And then Adriana cries and says she wants them back in her life. And Gertie, I love how much Gertie is being there for Adriana. Gertie has a big ass heart. And so then Gertie and Andy's like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And then Gertie takes this opportunity and goes, what about Nicole and Larsa agree to not bring up their stuff anymore? And they're like, yeah, okay, no more like judging and the rumors or none of that. And they're like, yeah. And Andy goes, way to go, Gertie. Okay. She's like, that's right, baby. And then they wrap up the reunion. Cheers with those big ass drinks. That's it. But what I've enjoyed is Gertie, that all the press Gertie's done since they filmed the reunion. She did one interview where she's like, after that reunion, I see what time it is. I see how we're coming in. I get it. So I don't know what they cut because I didn't see too much nastiness, but she made it seem like it was kind of from Alexia's end. Also, I think she said Larsa's the fakest one on the show. I believe. Don't quote me on that though. I might be mistaking her with someone else. But Gertie has come out of that reunion being like, got it. I see you guys. I'm coming in. Next season, I'm coming in hot. So I'm like, okay. It seemed like a copacetic ending, but bring it. Thank you, ladies, for an amazing season. Absolutely amazing season. Like the best franchise by far right now running. Everyone brings it. As messy and out of control Adriana seems to be, she needs the money, so please don't fire her. And she's out of control right now. So let's enjoy it. I don't know. Is that exploitation? Oh, by the way, guys, I know I've seen a bunch of people wanting Katie back on Potomac. Do me a favor and check out her Twitter. She's not doing great. Okay? She's not doing great. She's probably, I don't want to accuse her. I'm not going to say that. She's just not in a mental state to be on reality TV. There's a reason why she's not back on the show full time, and she just does little pop-ins. It would be exploitation. That would be. Adriana, I don't think it's exploitation at this point. I think she's just struggling, and I think if they fired her, which I've seen a bunch of people wanting her fired, I don't think we fire her. She would go bankrupt. And at this point, I want to see how it pans out with Alexia and Marisol. I want to see how that goes. So I don't want anyone fired. I want them all back, even the ones that kind of pissed me off. The cast deserves another season as is. I don't even need another one. I don't need a new housewife. I don't want anyone really thrown in. But I trust casting. Excuse me. I trust casting on this show. So if they did want to bring someone in, I have no doubt it would be worth it. So don't get rid of anyone. But it's a huge cast though. My God, if they brought anyone else in, Jesus. But go ahead. So brava. Well done. And that's it for me, for Miami. And now it's Ultimate Girls Trip, baby. So let's get into that. All right, guys. Love you. Mean it. Bye. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, would you mind leaving me a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you are listening? If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget there's the super thanks option down at the bottom, the little button with the $ and the heart. And also I'm on buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo if you want to buy me a little coffee or 2 or 5. And my Patreon, that is where I'm covering all of the classic Bravo jams. If you want to follow me over there and subscribe, link is in the description. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. And whoever the guest was for today, all their information is always in the episode description. So if you want to follow them and check them out, check there for the info. And any of the sponsor codes that I mentioned in this episode will also be in the description. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.